Rockeyez would like to welcome Joe D, man, Warmachine. We know each other now since 2008 when we did our first interview, and it went really well. I love the demos and stuff like that. The band started in 1994 with, as you grew and grew. 1998 was your first demo, Demolition. I listened to some of the tracks, which I really enjoyed. Tell me what it was back in those days compared to like recording in the time right now.
Well, back then we were recording analog. I know for that first CD, for the first demo, Demolition, I think it was. I know that was done on tape, and that was our first recording experience. So it was all brand new. We were fresh out of high school and basically ready to conquer the world, as most bands are at that age.
Oh, definitely.
We were very green, and we didn't know anything about recording, but it was a great experience and one that we learned a lot from. So we learned what to do and what not to do, of course.
Definitely. And there was 3 songs on that first demo, right?
There were, yeah. And you would probably remember better than I.
Right. Apocalypse, yes. Forgotten, Demise, Taunting of the Souls.
Okay, there you go.
Those
were the 3. And actually, funny little note, I remember we recorded a bonus track of Metallica's Fade to Black in that session as well.
Cool. I missed that one. I want to hear that.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever actually released on the printed copies that were manufactured. I think, I don't even know if I even have a copy of it anymore.
Right. I know you sent us a demo like early in the early stages of the band, and that's the reason why for me I really enjoyed it, and it was a black and white cover. I can't remember the name of the disc or whatever, but I just remember contacting you after that, and we did an interview back in 2008 and stuff like that. And then, it seemed like everything snowballed for you guys. And, you had 4 demos, and then you had your first full-length CD, The Beginnings of the End, in 2005. And then after that, your laytest disc, Left for Dead, in 2011, which you had a special guest, Harry Hess. How'd you get him?
Harry Hess actually sang on The Beginning of the End, actually, on our first album. So our co-producer, Murray Daigle, at the time of our first album, knew the guys from Harem Scarum. They grew up together. So he asked Harry and he asked Darren. They both actually sang on individual tracks on our first album. So that whole first album was basically a mishmash of a lot of guests on that record, right? There was Harry Hess, who sang on Eternally. Darren Smith, who later became our drummer, sang on Eye for an Eye. We had Ralph Santola at the time he was in Iced Earth. He's been in a million bands. David Ellefson from Megadeth played bass on that album and co-produced it as well. And then we had the guys that actually produced it and engineered it. So it was Murray Daigle, our producer, did some backing vocals. Sean Gregory from Emerald Rain as well, who's with they had a band with Murray and Mike Dimitrovic, who also appears on the album on what song was it? Safe Haven. He played a solo on that. And as I was saying, Sean Gregory, our engineer, played bass on The Beginning of the End, the song itself, the track.
Right. Now, most of these, definitely demos, but I mean the CDs, are they all independent released?
The first album wasn't. The first album was released through Nightmare Records in the U.S., Spiritual Beast Records in Japan, and Universal Records here in Canada. But Left for Dead, we decided to go on our own with that one, and the new releases that we're doing right now, which are so far just individual singles. We've been doing that through a company called Mondo Tunes. Right.
Now, with the independent releases and then going to a label and stuff, which is more beneficial to the band?
It's tough to say. I mean, for us, the first album was pretty successful. We had some great chart success over here in Canada on the HMV Metal charts. We were number 3 here on the HMV Metal charts for about over 10 weeks straight. So that was really cool. So I think getting the push from the label really helped us. Whereas the second album, we kind of did everything ourselves with Left 4 Dead. We did our own touring, our own tour support, our own promotion. So it's a lot more to chew on for the band itself. And I think we're kind of going back to the stage where we kind of want a label now to take care of that stuff, so we can just focus on being us and being the band and taking care of the music.
Right.
So now, I think that's the main difference.
You had a video off the Left 4 Dead album, and as a matter of fact, I posted it on Facebook. I really enjoyed that song. I can't remember what the name was, but it was an excellent song. Plus, you just got signed to Killshot Management. How'd that go down?
They've been courting us, I guess you could say, for the past couple of months. So we've been talking back and forth and exchanging ideas. And we had a couple of management companies that were waiting to work with us, and they were the guys that we saw a little bit more eye to eye with. And so yeah, we just basically did some negotiation, as you do in business, and we just recently signed with them. I guess it was about a month ago.
Cool.
So things are going swimmingly so far.
Cool. Now, Darren Smith, he went on to Jakey Lee's band, or is he staying with you guys?
He is actually going to be full-time Jakey Lee soon. At the moment, he's still playing with a couple other bands as well. But what he's doing right now, he's doing the Harem Scarum reunion.
Cool.
They're doing the 20th anniversary of Mood Swings tour. So he's got a few dates in Japan, and then about a month of touring in Europe until, I believe, November. And then after that, he's going to be just full Jakey Lee.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're really proud of him. He's a phenomenal singer.
I guess he'll be playing that Melodic Rock Festival coming up in Chicago, too?
He will be, yeah, and that's this month, I believe.
Cool. We'll be going. Yeah. I'll be going to that show.
Awesome.
So,
we have to say hi for him. Hi for me.
Definitely. Now, you just did a show August 31st at Spot 1, Brighton, Ontario. And you had people flying from Japan. What's that feeling like? Like people coming all over from different countries now to see you guys.
It's pretty crazy, actually, when you think about it, especially someone that was flying in from Japan all that way. And I thought she was just coming to see Harem Scarum because they're gods over there, right? So she came up to me, she knew my name, and they had the Japanese release of Warmachine's The Beginning of the End. So that was really cool to see, and so we ended up signing it for them. And they were going to come back. They were flying back to Tokyo, and this is what they told us yesterday. Right. And then they were going to be coming back for Friday's show in Kitchener, Ontario.
Wow.
So that's pretty crazy.
Is music really beneficial to you as a person?
Yeah, I think so. It's basically been my life since I was about 13 years old. It shaped my life, basically. Every decision I've made has pretty much been based around Warmachine. I've had one band my entire life. I've known what I wanted to be since I was 8 years old. So, I didn't go to school further after high school. I graduated high school, and then I dove into the band 100%. So, and it's my outlet at the same time, right?
Right.
In terms of writing music and getting aggravations and anything you would, it's a healthy outlet to get it out. Writing lyrics and writing music, and it's a release when you're performing live as well. That's one thing you feel. Being a singer, I know especially, you feel relieved after you get off stage. So it's a very beneficial outlet, I would say.
Right. What is it like when a person comes up to you and asks for your autograph?
It's a little weird. Not gonna lie, because you think, who am I? I'm just a normal guy. We're not the four of us aren't really the rock star type guys. We're not drinkers. We're not drug addicts. Anything like that. We don't really party. So we're just four normal guys that love what we do. So, I mean, it catches you off guard. But at the same time, I was the same too when I was younger. Wanted to get everyone's autograph. The guys in Megadeth, the guys in, I still worship Queen. So I can understand it, but at the same time, because it's me, it feels a little weird.
Right. I had one guy who said, it's really an experience to do an autograph, but when a family member asks you, it's a little uncomfortable.
Exactly. it's always flattering, that's for sure. I can say that.
So what is the biggest highlight so far from Warmachine for yourself and the band?
I think touring with Wasp was definitely a highlight for us.
Right.
Back in 2010, that was a phenomenal tour for us. Really, really good tour. The guys treated us great, and we made a lot of new fans from that tour. So every show was just killer. I remember that. And I think writing, recording, and releasing our second album, Left for Dead, as well, it was, I think, in terms of music and the direction, it was the album that myself personally I've always wanted to write.
Right.
So that's definitely a highlight. But there's been so many. We've been really blessed over the years, winning, a Toronto Independent Music Award. What else? There's so much, and like I had mentioned before, having David Ellison co-produce our first album and play bass on it, and that album being number 3 in the HMV charts for 10 weeks. There's too many great things to mention.
Right. Now, if a new band came to you and asked you a question like, what's the pros and cons of being in the music industry, what would you say?
The pros are getting to do what you love. That's the most important thing in the world. Life is short, so
Right.
You got to do what you love. I mean, I learned a long time ago, working a regular 9-to-5 job wasn't going to do it for me.
Right.
I hated it, and I was depressed all the time. I tried it, I couldn't do it.
Thanks a lot. That's what I got to do.
I mean, it's great for some people if you love what you do.
I hate what I do.
Oh, okay. Well, but you have your outlet, right, with Rockeyez, so that's a plus.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, that helps.
For me, I'm a family guy, but I'm not my own family kind of guy. I don't want to start my own family.
Right.
My family is Warmachine, right? We have a huge family I was born into. Johnny's my cousin, our guitar player.
Right.
So we're very close, but in terms of that aspiration of getting married and having kids and all that thing, it was never my thing. So
Right.
Warmachine was pretty much it, and so that's the most fulfilling thing. The cons of the music industry, especially nowadays, is there's pretty much no money in it anymore,
Right.
especially for a band at our level. You're putting in exactly what you get out of it, and then more you're putting in as well, right? So it's really hard to make money. So you really do have to love what you do.
Right.
But at the same time, because it's such a pleasure and it's such a great, fulfilling thing, it's worth it for me.
Right.
So you really have to love what you do, and that's the most important thing. You got to be honest with yourself and with the music that you're playing and writing.
Right. Now, listening to the music that you guys put out and stuff, for me, I really like it, and it's really entertaining, and the music sounds great and stuff. But the thing is, exposure. I mean, if you were like on a higher management and you got a lot of press and stuff like that, I think you guys would really, make it big. But like, yeah, I don't know if it's location, I don't know if it's money or whatever, that, I mean, you're not on a lower class because you're playing with like Queensryche, I read, and these other bands. What's the feeling like? Like, you got what it takes, but you're just not at that level.
It's humbling, let's say.
Uh-huh.
It keeps you hungry, and it keeps you driven. Basically, is what it is. Knowing that you got to get to that level, that next level. It's not impossible. So it's something that we're still striving for. I mean, we've had some string of bad luck with management and drummers, it seems to. But we're still keeping on. I mean, you can't lose sight of the goal, and that's hoping one day that we do get our due,
right.
Basically.
Do you feel like music is oversaturated now with like so many bands?
I do. Yeah, I do. And it's the quality that's suffering because of that, because now anybody can have a band, anybody can make an album and make a great sounding album without actually really playing or singing on it.
Right.
Well, at least, because you can pretty much do anything nowadays in the studio. So there's that, and I think the way it works nowadays too is a little lopsided, because it's not necessarily the bands that are the best getting the good tours. It's the bands that have the most resources and the most money that are getting the tours.
I definitely think so too.
A lot of those tours are buy-on tours. Most tours are buy-on tours. So if you don't have the money but you're great, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
The band that might be garbage but has a ton of money, is willing to pay more, is going to get that tour.
Definitely.
So that's unfortunate, and I think hopefully something changes soon.
Cool. Now, you said you're working on new material. Can you give me any insight in that?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm basically writing the next album at the moment, currently. And we've released one single from it so far called Forever Angel. It's a ballad. And we're going to be releasing a second single, and that would be September 28th. And it's all digital still, and it's going to be called With You. It's
cool.
A song that we've been performing live on these Harem Scarum dates, and it's been getting a great response. Again, another ballad, but that's, it's not going to mean that the next album's going to be all ballads. These are probably pretty much it. We're branching out. I'm a big sucker for ballads, being a huge Queen fan, Journey fan, all that stuff. So, but the other stuff that I've been writing's been completely really heavy as well. So, yet still very melodic. So it's pretty much, there's no formula for me. It's whatever I feel and whatever I like is what's going to get written. And if it's good, it's going to end up on the album.
Cool. Well, Joe, I definitely thank you for the talk, and I think you're going to help, this interview is going to help bands to learn a little bit about the music industry and, what kind of person you are and Warmachine, and, I appreciate you giving us that insight on that information, and I wish you the best. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first off, thank you for having me, and for all your support over the years, and for everything you've done for us, as well as the fans. And thank you for sticking by us. And, here's to hopefully another 20 years of success and good music.
Cool. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks so much, Brian.
Bye-bye.